first for the Warriors. Curry and Thompson, the splash brothers in the backcourt. And at the pivot, a terrific defender and all-around player, the Australian sensation, 7-footer Andrew Bogut. Then there's Iguodala, and it's Lee in at the power forward. And for Sacramento, the guards, Vasquez and McLemore. And the big fella inside out of the University of Kentucky, the unbelievably gifted and powerful pivot man, DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Mbah a Moute, and it's Thompson in at the 4 slot.
Well, you know, it's interesting, guys. Klay Thompson, as we all know, is a deadly outside shooter. But I think early in his NBA career, he struggled a bit with his touch around the rim. So it's nice to see as last season wore on, he started to find that touch around the glass and finish. Against bigger guys, which is much needed at the 2-guard position.
Curry with it. Back to Lee. Rebound by DeMarcus Cousins. Well, Clark going back to Klay Thompson. He wants to be a complete player. His dad certainly was. And, you know, Steve, he's just not a shooting specialist.
No, he's got the size and ball handling ability to really attack off the dribble. And he's also become an excellent defender, too. Greg Popovich talked about it during their playoff series a year ago. Thompson really did a nice job at that end of the floor.
The Warriors have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Iguodala's drive. Good.
Well, the number one priority for a defense when you face this guy is to keep him getting anywhere from the basket because he's just so strong as a finisher.
And he's very much a student of the game in terms of getting to know the tendencies of whichever player he's guarding on any given night and then gearing his defensive game plan to do what he needs to do to stop him.
Here is Vasquez after the made shot from Andre Iguodala. Clock at 6. Cousins, he's covered by Iguodala. No good from Cousins.
Yeah, the Warriors turnaround, I think, in large part because of the improvement defensively and on the boards last year. There was a 5 or 6 year stretch where Golden State was maybe the worst team in both categories in the entire league, but the schemes have changed, the personnel, the intent, the toughness, and it has all led to a new era for the Golden State Warriors basketball team.
Now here's Vasquez. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter, and the call will be against David Lee. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Vasquez. Kicks it to Mbah a Moute. 5 to shoot. Puts it up from 7. The shot is good off the backboard. And back to the Warriors looking to pack the paint. If you wanted to get into a three-point shooting contest with them, well, I think they'd welcome that.
I agree. I mean, with the Splash Brothers in the backcourt, you can get sprayed in a hurry from all angles. I mean, those guys are terrific. But again, their improved defense and rebounding was a big part of their success as well.
Now here's Vasquez, guarded by Curry. Shot is blocked. Thompson right side. Back to Bogut. They grab their own miss. Moves back up. Iguodala, no good.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
McLemore dishes to Mbah a Moute. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2. It's going to be on David Lee.
And, you know, for the Kings with the new ownership group, a new coach, a new front office, and a new downtown arena on the horizon, it's exciting times for the Kings fans and a lot of newfound optimism around this team, too.
Mazzili's checked in for the Warriors. Harrison Barnes comes in for David Lee. And the Kings, a team that experienced a period of great success in the 90s, back the late 90s and early this century. But they had undergone a 7-year playoff drought, and Steve, times had gotten pretty dire.
Well, there's a lot of change in the air in Sacramento this season with new ownership, new management, new coaching, and some young talent with Ben McLemore. So I think there's hope going forward for the Sacramento Kings.
And Mbah a Moute. And he dunks it down.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
The Kings trail by 4.
Now, Klay Thompson making NBA money. I'll tell you what, he learned from his father, Michael Thompson, who played a long time in the NBA. And his dad taught him, hey, you better live on a monthly stipend. You got to save your money, son. So good advice from Pops.
The Warriors making a switch here. We've got 1:13 left to play in the first quarter. He dishes it to Landry. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. You know, to go back, there's the cliche of the athlete who doesn't save for retirement. It's got to be a good thing for Klay Thompson to have that restraint, I would think.
And what I like, Kevin, the focus for him is on basketball and getting better. No entourage, no shopping sprees. Everything is pretty low-key and close to the vest. I mean, he's a gym rat, wants to be a great player, not interested in glamour and celebrity. He wants the ball.
I like the fact he lives on a tight budget. And, you know, what Steve was talking about is he's got some pretty good genes, pretty good bloodlines,
DNA isn't bad at all with Michael being the dad.
Here's Thomas after the made shot from Douglas.
Well, he's an acrobatic finisher, always looking for the angle to get his shot off.
And with the shot blocker lurking, he always seems to find a way to get it done.
Free throw good, Thomas.
Sacramento really had a lot of problems finding consistency game to game, and it showed up when they would have to take on other teams in the West. Just didn't look quite as cohesive and as desperate to win as the rest of the conference, and that ends up costing you games.
Now here's Douglas. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Douglas has got his second basket of the game.
Little touch of class there, guys. The end of that play with the finger roll.
Well, Clark, as you said, the Kings struggled against the West, really against Western teams not in their division. They would play the division tough, but didn't do much against, Steve, the other 2 Western divisions.
Well, they only won 14 games against the rest of the conference, which was the fewest of any team in the West last. Last year, but of those 14 wins, 7 came against the Pacific. So that's kind of interesting when you look at the disparity between their wins.
No. Some solid defense from Landry. Now Thomas. It's Salmon's on the wing with 4 seconds on the clock, and he hits the jump shot.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Oh, we've Seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Warriors.
And the points they're getting in the lane will really help them open up the floor.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
Let's go down to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, Ben McLemore grew up in poverty in the tough town of Wellston, Missouri, near St. Louis. A tiny house with up to 15 people under one roof. At times, no food, no heat. A single mother working nights to provide. And before his senior year, his high school shuttered for good. Basketball was his one escape. He said, quote, "If you say you're from Wellston, they give you that look. It's just the reputation. It's a hard place to live and grow." But he says even now that he's made it out, I'm never going to forget Wellston. I was born and raised there. It's my heart and my pride. I'm going to give back. I want to build it back to how it was. Guys, what an extraordinary story.
An amazing story. And Doris, good thing it had a happy end. Thank you. This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over there.
No, you know what, come on, I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up. I mean, he threw it down with force.
Here's Thomas after the made shot from Douglas. And there's the call on Tony Douglas. That's foul number 2 for him.
He's jammed himself up a little bit here with that second foul. So as long as he can avoid a third before the half, I think he's fine.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Klay Thompson, he's checked in for Iguodala. And Steph Curry subbed in for Tony Douglas. Now here's Vasquez. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
You know, I like what I saw last year from David Lee and Steph Curry in terms of leading their team. They talked about it before the season, and you could see it in how they played and prepared.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
McLemore's checked in for Marcus Thornton. It's stolen by Curry. Lee kicks to Curry. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And David Lee had been viewed around the league as a guy who put up good numbers but didn't really help you win. So it had to be a great feeling for him to lead the Warriors on the season they had this past year.
Well, I think this is the first time Lee has really been in position to win. He was drafted by the Knicks. They had really bad teams at the time, and the Warriors now getting going, adding to that roster. So I think it's unfair to suggest that Lee is not a winner based on his overall record as a player.
And he did lead the league in double-doubles last season, so he was performing with high individual numbers and certainly helping the team. And the Warriors with possession here. 4-point game. Thompson left side. Lets it go. The shot is off. And Sacramento will go the other way with it. And count it. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless. It's been over 3 decades since the Warriors have won a division title, guys. It's sad to hear if you're a fan, but they were a lot closer last season than they have been in a long time. Ended up second in the Pacific Division.
Warriors leading by 4. Curry passes to Thompson. A three-pointer off the mark. Sacramento's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Vasquez dishes to Cousins. Uses the glass to finish the lane. Now just a 2-point Warrior lead And Clark, as you said with the Warriors, they were 9-7 against the rest of the Pacific Division. Did very well against the Clippers, but had some struggles with the other teams that kept them from closing, Steve, the gap to the top.
Well, for a long time, remember, they were right on the heels of the Clippers in the division race, but they fell into a little bit of a slump after the All-Star break. It's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out this year with the addition of Andre Iguodala. Well, this team has the potential to take another step up the ladder.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Hi, gentlemen. For the Sacramento Kings, a lot of rookies, and not just among the players. A new first-time majority owner, a new rookie GM, and Mike Malone, a first-time head coach. New blood taking over. But for all three, extensive experience in assisting roles, whether assistant coach, assistant GM, or minority ownership. So guys, despite being new to the lead role, none of them lack for experience.
Thanks, Doris. We'll see how they do. 1:07 left in the first half. Landry kicks to Hayes. And it'll be Sacramento as it goes out of bounds. The Kings retain possession. Here's the screen. 1:02 left in the first half. 6 on the shot clock. Tips it up.
That's a battle they haven't been winning today, guys. Their work on the glass has to improve.
And that's not the only thing that's gone against them.
Tries from the block. Off the left rim and out. And that's a foul called on Chuck Hayes. That is his first foul of the game. And the Warriors with some changes. Spates comes in for David Lee. And it's Iguodala in for Harrison Barnes. Great open look there. And it's 8 points for Steph Curry.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
Yeah, it's something we haven't seen much of at the other end of the floor, though.
The Kings have been all 4 of their chances so far in this one. Free throw drops for Landry.
You know, the Warriors made big strides last year, and part of it was a retooling of the team, but they also got a lot of help from the group of rookies that they had, and a number of those rookies played prominent roles down the stretch and in the playoffs.
Sacramento making a switch here. Salmons is checked in. Warriors leading by 8.
And a 2-for-1 opportunity.
Yeah, they got to hurry, step on the gas here.
Thompson with the bucket.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. McLemore off the pick from Landry. McLemore, the pass to Vasquez. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Here's Curry. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. The Warriors have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far. Free throw good by Curry. That one misses. The foul called on Festus Ezeli. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The Kings have been perfect so far from the free throw line, 6 for 6. First free throw is good. And so he makes both from the line. Seven seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Curry dishes to Thompson. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Thompson's got 13.
Yet another 3 for him, Kevin. He's really been draining them here in the second.
And the first half is now
presented by Sprint.
This is 2K Sports, and I'm
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
Been a stellar outing in this one for Thompson. He's got 13 points, and from downtown, he's buried 3 3-pointers.
Yeah, when he's been able to get squared up and get a good look at the basket, it seems like everything's been going in.
Boy, it was an impressive turnaround for Mark Jackson and the Warriors last season. I mean, his promise of making the playoffs didn't come together in his first season at the Controls, but in year 2, they got it done. And I tell you what, most thought Mark would be a really outstanding coach, and he's well on his way to making that a reality.
Lays out. Thompson against Lee. And Thompson kicks to Vasquez. Fades and shoots. It's rebounded by Golden State. Lee's got his 7th rebound here tonight. And for Mark Jackson, there have been some questions. He had never spent time as a coach, even as an assistant. You know, I guess the question was, Steve, would he be able to take over the reins as a head coach?
Well, the biggest thing you want to do as an NBA coach is have your players buy into what you're selling. And Mark Jackson's been able to do that. His players believe in him. He motivates them. They like playing for him. And that's most of the battle right there.
Here's Mbah a Moute after the made shot by David Lee. And here's the break. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
The Warriors shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Well, this was a very consistent free throw shooting team a year ago. They shot about 79%.
Yeah, they had the kind of success from the line that would make any coach breathe a sigh of relief, guys. A lot was made about the Kings in their home last year, but it wasn't about how well are they playing at home. It was about where is their home going to be next season. The Kings are staying in Sacramento, but they played like it might be their last hurrah.
Here's Thompson. He feeds it to Mbah a Moute. High post Cousins. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot. Cousins has got his 3rd bucket of the night. And you go back to the Kings at home last year, 20-21 record, and it was easy to see just how much tougher a team they were in this building. You know, Steve, they really looked like a team that could compete with anyone at any time.
Well, this community really rallied behind the franchise. And there was a lot of worry that maybe this was the farewell tour for the Kings fans and the players. And they played their hearts out last year. You got to give them a lot of credit for really fighting, particularly down the stretch when things looked grim. And they've made 3 of their first 4 shots here to start this half.
The feed to McLemore. Pass to Vasquez. All alone. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
Well, they've done a lot of things right, but I agree with you, Clark. Their rebounding is right there at the top of the list. Seems like they're on their heels every time defensively because the ball continues to go into the post.
Well, if they don't pick up the aggression, things are only going to get worse. You know, with Steph Curry, it's never been a question about his talent, guys. It's always been a question about how are his ankles going to do. Really, he only missed significant time in the shortened season, and for the most part, he's been healthy and highly productive.
Some changes for Sacramento. Marcus Thornton, he's checked in for McLemore. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Vasquez. Thornton, no good.
Couldn't convert, but nice little 2-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Here's Iguodala. Some solid defense there from Thompson. And a few ankle tweaks for Curry last season. But with the big brace he wore, he said the pain was mostly from the brace bruising his ankle than anything else.
Well, it sounds to me like maybe you should take the brace off. Maybe a smaller brace so
Perhaps,
he doesn't get the bruising. That would be smart.
Exactly. Good. And that's now 7 points for David Lee.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Now, here's Thomas. Passes to Thornton. And it's Thornton again missing.
Well, he's been trying to add that mid-range shot to his arsenal, but it still isn't there.
And Curry, here we go. Out to Thompson. Lee left side. Iguodala outside. Thompson up top. Pass to Curry. Iguodala left side. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Boy, the ball movement's been fantastic here the last few possessions.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Landry comes in for DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Vasquez in for Jason Thompson. Now, here is Landry. The foul called on Festus Ezeli. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Mike Malone, the new head coach of the Sacramento Kings, son of a former NBA coach. Mike has been credited with helping teams improve their defenses, whether it was in New Orleans with Chris Paul, last season with Golden State. But Malone, very well regarded in NBA coaching circles.
Here's Thomas from deep. Fulton. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Lee's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Douglas can't hit.
You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there.
And the Sacramento team, Clark, not without offensive talent, but their defense has been their shortcoming.
And that's the area they've got to ramp up and improve. And Coach Malone is going to have an opportunity to put his stamp on this team by improving them at the defensive end of the floor.
And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one.
That's what they're hanging their hat on today, fellas. Hard-nosed, smash-mouth play down on the low block.
To me, that's the key to any game. Who can win the battle in the paint? And right now, they've got it going.
McLemore's checked in for Sacramento. Thompson for 3. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got his assist totals piling up. 11 now for him. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Vasquez passes to Cousins. And he knocks down the jumper. Cousins has got 8.
Not what they drew up, but they'll take the 2 points.
Here's the Warriors with the ball. They're on a 20-6 run. Curry outside. Ezeli dishes to Curry. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. 13 points in the game. Just 4 seconds left to play here in the third. Here's Vasquez. No good. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
Boy, their passing has been picturesque, a thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
And I'll tell you, the other thing that's been a factor is the transition game. They're scoring a lot of points on the fast break.
Now here's Douglas, and that one's good. Douglas has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Warriors.
What a big-time mismatch it's been in the post. Where's the defensive adjustment? They're getting housed down there.
They sure are. You got to come up with something, a double team, maybe a substitution, but this is getting ridiculous.
Chuck Hayes, he's checked in for Sacramento. Mbah a Moute comes in for McLemore. Thomas kicks to Mbah a Moute. Back to Thomas. Just 5 to shoot. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Bazemore passes to Douglas. And he makes good on the layup.
His shooting's been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons his team is up in this game.
Kings shooting in this game, 45%. Tipped away. Tries to keep it alive. A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Thomas kicks to Hayes. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
There's no question the big news for the Sacramento Kings is they're still the Sacramento Kings after a nail-biting last couple of years, they saw the team flirt with moving to Virginia, Anaheim, Las Vegas, Seattle. Finally, a new ownership group committed to keeping the team in sack.
Spates checked in for Azili. Bazemore dishes to Green. And the three ball is good.
I like the way they've played here in the first half. Just an intelligent floor game, getting good shots.
Numbers certainly back that up. They're shooting a much better percentage.
And for all the Kings fans, what a great victory. Former three-time NBA All-Star and Sacramento native son, Mayor Kevin Johnson, instrumental in securing financing for the new arena, and Steve campaigning with the league's owners to keep the team in Northern California.
I think it surprised everyone, Kevin. Seattle made such a strong bid. I think most people felt the team would end up in Seattle, but Johnson did his job. Sacramento stepped up to the plate, and I think it's great that the Kings get to keep their team, and hopefully Seattle will end up with one in the next couple of years.
No good from Bazemore.
He's far too tentative in the paint, and even more so when the defender is up tight on him like that time.
And so it looks like the Kings will retain possession here. Azili's checked in for the Warriors. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Out of bounds, Kings ball as Sacramento keeps possession. Marcus Thornton, he's checked in for the Kings. Left side, Thomas launches a three, and that one's good. Thomas got 5 points now this quarter.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Azili covered by Hayes, and the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school, just physical play in the paint. Dominate.
Now here's Patterson. He passes to Thornton. Fires from deep. Another three for Sacramento.
And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, you know, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
And I know he's a fan favorite because he can catch fire immediately at any point in the ball game and just start pouring it in from all over the place. They didn't shoot it well from the line in the first half, but they've turned it around here, and it's helped them secure the lead. I mean, free throw shooting is important when you're trying to pad a lead.
And the Kings making a change here. Salmons is checked in.
You know, it's very rare that you're going to be able to make the playoffs in the West without coming out with a winning record against the rest of the conference. And the Warriors knew that would be important in their quest for the playoffs, and they handled business against the West.
Now here's Hayes. No good off the back of the rim. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. The drive by Green. Here's Azili. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Time to turn out the lights on this game.
I think they deserve a ton of credit for the way they played here today. Truly a professional display.
Well, and for the Warriors who fought so hard to get back into the playoffs, last year their 28-24 record against the rest of the West really helped their cause, Steve.
Well, the toughest part of the Warriors' last campaign was a rough stretch of games in February where they dropped off a bit in the race. And, you know, a lot of those games were against Western teams. And if you kind of remove that month, their in-conference record is even more impressive.
It has not been an easy quarter for them, at least offensively speaking.
Here's Patterson. The shot misses. Warriors have gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Here's Green. Spates the pass to Azili. Out of bounds, Sacramento takes possession.
Just got a little careless on that pass. They should be able to connect on those.
Sacramento's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Thomas goes in, makes the lead pass, and so it looks like the Kings will retain possession here.
That was an awfully risky pass, guys. He's lucky it didn't wind up as a steal.
Well, it nearly did wind up as a steal, but no harm done in the end. They hang on to possession.
Now, here's Salmons. Shoots from the elbow. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Boy, nice tip in to salvage the points from the missed shot and made it work.
It did, yeah. And those second chance points, Clark, they do add up.
Yes, sir.
They sure do. That's why boxing out is so important. Defensively, you can't just let a guy get to the rim and not put a body on him. And this game is finally getting away from them.
Yep, it has gotten away. There's not really anything they can do now.
Thomas kicks to Salmons. Back to Thomas. Three-pointer. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. The dish to Douglas. The three. No luck. So we see the Warriors taking the game here.